Hey YouTubers, I'm back with a re-upload of the Bedtime Stories CD collectibles, including some of the newer items that I've acquired in the collection. We'll kick off with an Australian commercial for the album. Check it out.
Madonna, Bedtime Stories. The most successful female artist of our time releases her best album to date. Madonna, take her home tonight.
I'll never explain again.
So that's how the album was promoted on Australian shores. Now we'll take a look at some of the CD collectibles. Now this is a promo display piece that was sent out to the stores with the first copies of the CD. Here's a German pressing of the CD, regular pressing. I like the aqua CD casing rather than the standard grey or black casing. There's the back cover with the track listing. This is the Australian display card that used to sit behind the CDs that were in retail stores. Here's a special US pressing with a song hype sticker for Secret. This is a sealed copy. That's the back cover. You'll note that this actually shows the artwork or the image orientation has been flipped. So this is a reissue. So the one on the left is how most of them were issued, where the image is actually incorrectly placed right way up. But the original image was actually upside down, which is looking up at the camera. The one on the right is reissue. That's how the artwork was corrected in America. Let's move on to the Velvet Pack, which is an ultra rare item that was released as a promo only. Now this copy is sealed, so I can't show you the inside of this particular piece, but you'll see it's a nice plush velvet pillow pack with some embossing there of the titles of the Bedtime Story album. That's the back. Once again, it's sealed, and I've placed it in a plastic protective cover to keep it in new condition. These are very rare. Now if you open up the package, you'll see there's a little card, a little wallet for the booklet to sit in that sits in the digipack itself, and a special white inlay tray. Here's the Australian edition of Bedtime Stories with the song hype sticker once again. This one mentions Human Nature played on Triple J stations. That was a huge hit in Australia. It made it a top 20 single. I think it went to number 15 in Australia. This is a nice Japanese edition with a lovely obi strip. You can see that it integrates some of the front cover design. There's the spine, track listing on the back. So the track listing was the same as everywhere else in the world, but it just had some nice design and outer packaging. Obi strips are always a nice addition to Japanese items, and this is no exception. It's a nice item. There's also a Taiwanese edition that has a nice little obi strip, but not as nice as the Japanese edition. So let's move on to the first single released off the album, Secret, which was a big hit around the world. There was a great video that was produced for it. Check it out. This is actually the video that features the remix version of the song, produced by Junior Vasquez, who put together the Junior's Lush dance edit. That's what you're hearing at the moment. Now I want to take a look at the CD collectibles released around the world. Here's the American card wallet sleeve, Secret titles on the cover. Features a radio edit, album version, instrumental version. So that's the CD that was released in North America and in Australia and some other territories. That's the CD face. Here's a nice promo remix CD that was released in the States. It features a nice circular promo sticker that sits on the cover there, integrates with the design nicely. It's got a multitude of mixes there, including the drum mix and the All-Star single mix and the Some Bizarre single mix, which were unreleased versions. The drum mix is actually probably the best version there. It's a little different to what's been released commercially. Here are the promo edits, similar to the remixes, but it has a circular sticker, white circular sticker, and this one features only two versions of the song, an edit and an album version for promo use only and released in the States. They're a nice little set if you can track them down, a collection. Here's one of the rarer CDs released in Germany called the remixes. So the Secret mixes that were released in Europe and Germany featured a few different remixes of the song, some of them being mixes that only appear on this CD, and it's including a super extended mix of the song. It's a great little CD and is a little harder to track down than the regular releases. This one's the American flip case, so it just features, that's the CD face there. Features a few different mixes of the song. I think there's 5 or 6 in total. Here's a really nice Japanese EP that features a nice unique design or unique picture cover. You can see the CD here with a wonderful obi strip there, nice attractive Japanese title, and the unique image that was only released for the Japanese edition. There's a spine, and on the back, multitude of remixes. Once again, there's quite a lot of remixes of Secret, including an extended Luscious dub and another extended club mix, which is great, which I think only appears on that CD nowhere else in the world. Here's a regular Australian release with the titles that sit down the bottom. That's the CD face. You'll note the Australian CD logo or a native Australian pressing. And the back insert, pink insert. Here's a card, another card sleeve, Secret, card edition, but this one features an unreleased song called Let Down Your Guard and a few other mixes of Secret. So I think this was released in Europe, so it was different to the American releases, which only had instrumentals on the B-side. This is a nice Japanese edition of Secret as a single Snap Packs CD, long box format. There's the back, the design on the back, which has all the translated information and nice design. These are pretty cool. Now we move on to the second single that was released off the album called Take a Bow. We'll take a quick look at the incredible video that was filmed in Spain. This was a huge smash hit in Canada and in America. #1 for 7 consecutive weeks in the States on the Billboard Hot 100. So it was a huge smash hit. And the song itself was quite an interesting song. We'll take a look at the Australian card CD. You can see the back there. So this was another native pressing for Australia with a slightly unique colour picture cover, a little different to the regular releases. It's more of a brown colour. What you see here is the US promo CD EP that features remixes of Take a Bow. There's quite a few of them, a couple of them unreleased. This is a limited edition pack that includes 3 photographic prints, and that's the CD face there, released in England with a nice blue bordered sleeve. That's meant to be very collectible. Then we move on to the regular CD issue of Take a Bow, and this is either I think this is the German pressing or the Australian pressing, I'm not quite sure, but this is what it actually looks like, and it has a few mixes of Take a Bow. Moving on to a rare promo UK CD for Take a Bow, which features an incredibly unique insert, really nice there. It has all the information about promotional use only, not for sale. This was sent out to radio stations, and it also includes a little bio or promo bio insert there on the back. And the CD was made in very small quantities and features a 4-minute 25-second edit of the song. This is the regular flip pack that was released in the States with remixes of the song. These aren't too hard to track down, but the actual format, the flipcase format, is quite collectible as well. I also wanted to show you the remixes EP that was released in Germany that had a nice unique red sticker on the cover and a different CD face design. You can see there on the back. This is an incredibly rare Japanese promo item. Features an edit and album version of the song made specifically for the Japanese market with a unique insert. So it opens up to reveal a little fold-out insert with Japanese translated information with a backing insert at the back, which includes a US promo CD insert. Here are the collectible remixes of Take a Bow with a wonderful obi strip integrated into the design, which is really cool. I love the Japanese obi strips, they just make the items look a lot more attractive. So it features a few mixes of Take a Bow and some remixes of Bedtime Story, which was only released on the B-side of this EP, not released as a single in Japan. And here is the Snap Pack 3-inch CD single for Take a Bow, the Japanese writing there, nice collectible format there, a nice image, and on the back some more translated information. They're quite collectible, these formats, as they were only released for a short time in the 90s. Now let's take a look at the third single released off the album called Bedtime Story. So this is more of a trippy or trance track, co-written by Björk, Madonna wanted to explore some new musical territory, and she certainly did that in the video as well. She spent about $5 million to produce an incredibly interesting video with some amazing imagery and some really interesting visuals, as you can see here. Okay, time to check out the CD collectibles that were released around the world for Bedtime Story. Here's the American wallet CD or card wallet CD. That's the back cover. It includes a few remixes of Bedtime Stories. Here's the German edition of the CD with black titles. That also features an album version and a couple of other tracks on there, different back cover design. You'll see the titles there are different. One's white and one's black, but they're quite interesting and very collectible. Then we move on to a UK CDR or CD, promo CD. There it says promo only, not for sale. You can see all the logos there. This was released only for radio stations, and here's the sticker, WEA Records promo sticker. This is an interesting item. Here's an Australian gold CD. You can see there the sticker there that talks about the fact that this is a gold-plated CD with a nice gold tint to the CD itself. But what makes it even more interesting is the fact that it actually includes a rare promo poster. So the first copies came with the Bedtime Stories promotional poster, which is now a little bit more expensive to track down, and you want to track down the CD with the original yellow song hype sticker. This is the US promo CD that has a nice picture CD face. The back inset there, and the spine. It's a promotional CD only, sent to radio stations in the States. You remove that and you can see the back cover design, which features the original artwork that was used on the international sleeves. But this is a cool little package. It's got a clear face insert to display the CD face. Here is a special promotional CD for Bedtime Stories. It's called Chapter 2, and it includes some unreleased mixes that you cannot get anywhere else, and they're really good remixes. They were released for promotional purposes only, quite expensive and quite difficult to track down. The original remixes that were on the Billboard chart weren't doing too well, so they reissued another set of remixes called Chapter 2 to help it chart. Here's a digipack of the Bedtime Story, or flip pack of the Bedtime Story CD released in the States. Now we move on to a very special item, the leather booklet digipack. And this was released to emulate a little leather book. So you can see a song hype sticker there in the corner there. This is still sealed, so I can't open the package. But what it includes is, you can see the spine there, it's meant to emulate the book. It includes a few remixes of Secret and Bedtime Stories as well, of course. And the inside, if you open the package, what is revealed is a little booklet that has a lot of illustration in there. So it recites the Bedtime Stories lyrics and has some visuals to accompany those lyrics. And it's really nicely designed. It looks like a nice little bedtime story. And that sits inside the digipack itself. It also comes with a CD. So this is the second CD that was meant to supplement this. So you can see a purple face CD there. That's CD 2. So the booklet, you can see there that it says CD 2. So this special card insert sits inside the tray of the limited edition booklet, and it was meant to be placed in the tray when you received or purchased the second CD. So this is a 2 CD set. So the Bedtime Stories package is part 1 as a limited edition, and then this was the second edition. Okay, now to Human Nature, the last single released off the Bedtime Story album. This had an interesting video. It was almost like a hit back at the critics, who criticised her for the sex book and some of her other more risque output. Now the video did have an element of humour and some really interesting choreography. Now we move on to the collectibles. This is the American flip case for Human Nature. These are the American remixes, or the North American remixes that were released in Canada, America, Australia, and some other regions in the States. I'll open up the package so you can take a look inside. That's the CD face there, and the inside of the case. So these remixes were issued for that country. Then we move on to the European, or the rare UK CD edition of Human Nature that features a totally unique sleeve. You can see there it's got that wonderful design taken from the video, and it's got a purple tinge in the background, almost like a metallic sleeve. There's CD face, but it also includes some unique mixes that are not available on the American EPs or American CDs. There's a couple on there that are only available on this CD, which is really cool. So that's a nice little collectible item, and it's getting a little expensive nowadays to track down. Difficult to track down as well. Here's a German CD with a nice picture CD face. This features Human Nature with 2 mixes of Bedtime Story on this, so it's released only for the German market. And this is a little interesting CD single released in Australia as a card wallet sleeve. Now it features a radio edit that removes the swearing and a Human Nature video version that includes the spoken outro at the end of the video as well. I think it's unique only to this CD, so they're quite collectible. And the last item we'll take a look at is the Human Nature Japanese Snapback CD. Now if you have a look there, it says coupled with La Isla Bonita. So this was an actual AA side single. As you flip it over, you can see La Isla Bonita artwork on the back there. So that's a nice little collectible item. So I hope you enjoyed my video of Bedtime Stories CD collectibles. Now stay tuned because I will be back with more videos.
And I'm not